Winston, it's good talking to you again. I just want to tell you, I really love Positive Black People News. It's my favorite web show, by far.
Yes.
And, I'm very proud of you.
Of course.
And please keep it up.
All right, change the narrative.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
Change the narrative. Do that.
President. The good one. What's going on, world? I am Winston A. Marshall, and this is Positive Black People News, the show that's changing the narrative. Now, if this is your first time here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell, because then that lets you know every time we put up a new positive news story. I mean, we put them up every week. Like, we're here every Wednesday, so you got to be sure to come back and check everything out. And now, before you get on my case, yes, I'm wearing the exact same sweatshirt, the Black Men Are Dope sweatshirt that I wore last week. Here's the thing. There's like a little bit of a mix-up of what happened. Like, I had some technical difficulties in last week's episode. So I just decided, because some were more timely than others, I was gonna mix these up. So some of these I shot a little earlier, some of these I shot this week. So there's gonna be a little grab bag. So I figured I just wear the same thing, then you're not as confused. I'll probably just confuse you. It doesn't matter, let's just get to the news. In the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd, anti-racist literature from Black authors have been making record-breaking sales. People are learning parts of their history that they didn't even know about. I mean, I'll be real with you. I didn't know about the massacre of Black Wall Street in Tulsa until Watchmen on HBO. And who says comic books ain't legit? Yo, and how did they not teach us that in school? I still haven't used the quadratic formula for a single real life scenario. Not once, y'all. In the quest for education on topics such as racial equality and, well, on how to be a good human being, people have turned to buying these books from Black-owned indie bookstores. Since we're still living in Rona times, indie bookstores have been hit really hard with people buying their books from bigger retailers like Amazon. However, with several lists created online highlighting Black-owned bookstores across the US, several bookstore owners have seen an uptick in sales. See, Black Twitter always be coming through. I see y'all, man. According to an article from NPR, many owners say they're grateful for the business, especially as the pandemic has forced them to close their doors temporarily, but they're heartbroken by the circumstances. Outrage over videos and stories of police brutalizing Black people, and can't help but wonder how long the surge in interest will last.
What happened when Mr. Floyd was murdered, everybody wanted a book on racial tension, on race, on what to do about race, on white people and race, Black people and race, cops and race. We've been involved in Black Power movement, even the feminist movement, the anti-war movement, anti-apartheid, civil rights, the first Black Lives Matter. We've been there to provide the forum for discussion.
Katie Mitchell of Good Books in Atlanta, Georgia said, "I started the store as a celebration of Blackness, but it's a conflict I've been wrestling with. I'd obviously prefer George Floyd to be alive than to have the increase in business. If George Floyd's death sparks this movement and it's sustained, it would really be something to see in our lifetime." The much appreciated boost in sales has made it challenging to send out books because supply chains have been affected by COVID-19. Janice Haynes of Detroit Book City has called it a blessing and overwhelming. She said, "If I didn't have meditation, prayer, and didn't drink a lot of water, I'd probably be lying flat on the floor." See, to all you Karens watching out there, the next time life seems to be overwhelming you, just say a few woosahs, drink a little bit of water, and calm your privileged, stressed out little hearts. There's no need to call the cops or cry on camera. Just breathe, Karen. Now, if you buy from these booksellers, and I sincerely hope that you do, please be patient for these books to arrive. Remember, your purchase and your time waiting for it is exactly what's gonna help keep these bookstores open. You can find a link to the list of bookstores in the description below. Now, I'll be the first one to say that since we're in the middle of a pandemic and a civil rights movement, sports isn't a huge priority, and I stick by it. Even if I want to see Luka yam on LeBron in the playoffs or enjoy more of whatever Dak calls this. But the truth is, regardless of where you stand on sports, there's a lot that can be learned from participating in them. A healthy lifestyle, self-confidence, and self-discipline. And Jason Wilson, author of Cry Like a Man and founder of the Cave of Adlam, instills all of that in his students. CATTA, or the Cave of Adlam Training Academy, is a program in Detroit, Michigan where boys who are emotionally distressed, mentally discontented, and spiritually in debt gather to be trained and transformed into comprehensive men of the Most High through Emotional Stability Training, or EST. EST exposes the root of unresolved anger, anxieties, lack of focus, and fears while teaching recruits how to introspectively confront and conquer negative emotions with composure. Okay, all of that I just took from the website's About Me, and I'm not quite sure what it means, but I think it kind of boils down to like a martial arts class paired with like black male mentorship and spirituality. Think like Big Brothers Big Sisters meets Kung Fu lessons, which honestly sounds kind of amazing. I mean, that reminds me of my favorite episode of Power Rangers, the one where Zach, the Black Ranger, which is a whole thing, black guy was Black Ranger. Anyway, he has this young black boy in his martial arts class, and you know, he teaches him about working hard and believing in himself and facing his fears and his bully, all while giving him emotional support.
Don't let Biff psych you out just because he's bigger than you. Say that word! Never!
So, did I make you proud, Zach?
Absolutely. Proud because you believed in yourself.
Gets me every time. Their site says, we place a strong emphasis on biblical brotherhood, where each recruit is more concerned about sharpening each other instead of surpassing each other. As a result, 78% of recruits improve their GPA one letter grade without tutoring. 98% of parents report their sons have grown spiritually and become more emotionally stable. 100% of recruits who were victims of physical bullying are no longer bullied and have not compromised their kind spirit. And 56% of parents report a decrease in school suspensions and an increase in their sons making advantageous decisions. Mr. Wilson and CATTA was put on my radar because of this inspirational video shared by the Sports Center Instagram page.
No. Good. Relax. Nothing has happened yet, son.
Which leg he got back?
If you respond on a what if, you will get in trouble.
You got it, just like that. That's
you
how
have
you
to
want
wait
to be,
some time
right?
before you make that decision.
Now, why personally, I still think putting our energies into stopping racial inequality, police brutality, and other injustices should be our top priority right now, and I'm worried that the return of pro-level entertainment like the NBA or NFL may take us a step back, I 1000% get and respect sports and programs just like this that help shape the minds of young kids, especially young black men. Guidance, support, and accomplishment help to fundamentally shape who we become. And Mr. Wilson's program seems to be molding these troublesome boys into proud young men. You can donate to CATTA at thecatta.org/donate, and you can follow the program on Instagram at Cave313. Have you ever wondered how your delivery packages end up at your door? Maybe you've gone outside excited for a package and you found a broken and battered box instead. Well, when your delivery drivers don't care, what else can you expect? One neighborhood in Smithtown, New York decided to recognize the great service provided by their local UPS delivery driver. Being on the route for 12 years, Greg is a well-known member of the neighborhood showing great dedication and a smile on his face. Being stuck at home all during the pandemic, the community noticed the long hours and hard work that he was putting in, and they decided to show some thanks.
He'd go out of his way to be extra helpful, carrying heavy packages. So just being the person that he is and us knowing him for so long, we just wanted to do something to give back.
While on his route, Gregory Watkins Sr. was surprised with the parade of cars and people cheering as he went about his job. Members of the community held up signs, expressed thanks, and when he reached his final destination, he was given a bunch of flowers and a card. Greg accepted the gifts in a humble manner that he's known for, and showed that in this time of unease, a little bit of appreciation can make a person's day. Now, I know this isn't like one of those crazy stories that we had, but we just figured, if I could put this up, maybe my Amazon delivery guy will stop throwing my boxes at my door. Thank you so much for watching this episode of PBPN. I cannot thank the fans enough for doing this, but I especially have to thank my patrons. You're gonna see their names coming up on screen here. I did move some stories from the episode that I shot that I had issues and this new one that we're shooting now. So things are gonna be jumbled up, but the two writers in these 2 weeks have been Sol Gavin and Cheryl Corman, I believe is Cheryl's last name. They both did an excellent job on the UPS delivery guy and the black bookstores. I think I might put them both to next week because they're not time sensitive versus this, but they wrote as part of the team all these stories that have been here. But my patrons, you guys are the reason I can do this. So if you want to find a way to support the show, please go to patreon.com/theswaggyblurred. You can join various tiers that helps keep this going. Honestly, it's that support that keeps this going. And then sharing this. You see this, share this with everybody you know. We need to get as many eyes on these stories as possible. And it's all because of y'all. That's how we do this. So thank you so much for rocking with us, and we'll see y'all next week.